Hello again. This video feels different, more personal. My latest release was removed from YouTube for nudity and sexual content, and you won't believe what frame YouTube flagged to justify the banning. I will share it in a moment, and you will be the judge. I'll also include the banned video in its entirety, and I will share my suspicion about the unnerving reason for the ban.
Eerie Aquarium has warned you. Subliminal haunting is our game.
See, censorship isn't just a theoretical plague. It's a daily reality for creators, artists, and anyone bold enough to tackle the human condition. And now it's reached the absurd, as I will demonstrate without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not just passionate about this topic, I'm its victim. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, let's briefly talk about the system that got us here. Censorship comes in many forms. It creeps into art, horror, literature, music, politics, and even history. Anywhere expression dares to challenge norms, the powerful, or simply unsettle dated comfort. What supposedly started as a means for maintaining standards has metastasized into a tool for control and oppression. The platforms we rely on for connection have become digital gatekeepers, interpreting and deciding on norms and on what we can and cannot say. And worse, they apply their power through generic concepts that they can manipulate and extend to reach and pursue. Entire genres of art, provocative, dark, fringe, or just unconventional, are under siege. Horror, for example, is perpetually walking the line between what is disturbing and what is inappropriate. And those lines, they shift constantly, with no warning or logic. But this isn't new, is it? This is a tale as old as power itself. To understand censorship, you have to look at its origins, and it's not a pretty sight. Censorship isn't born of virtue, it's born of fear, control, and projection. What drives someone to suppress art, to silence voices, or to censor a concept, a body part, or an idea? The ugliest intent. A deep-seated need to externalize inner malice and to weaponize power to cancel the other. Sexism thrives here too. Female bodies, for example, are policed with a zeal unmatched by any other subject. On North American TV, they're instructed on how much of a woman's breast they can show. And last I checked, a male nipple looks very similar to a female one. But of course, it's a non-issue for men throughout the lands. It's a non-issue for many tribes in Africa and Latin America as well. But for the women of the rest of the world, it's a problem. How weird is that? There is a patriarchal opinion about that nipple you see. Historically, powerful men had an issue because they objectified and glorified female bodies and breasts, and in their disgusting minds, they owned the women. So, they just wanted to keep the package sealed and private for the rightful owner. I'm really sorry to put it this bluntly, but I can't see another plausible dynamic. Don't you agree? Maybe partially. Would love to have your take on this in the comments. A nude painting is labelled obscene. A provocative animation becomes immoral. The human body ends up being a taboo. Emotions and expression become limited. The censor's biases infect the system, making it less about guidelines and more about imposing control and promoting societal illnesses and disorders. This isn't just a matter of personal grievances, it's systemic. A legacy of authoritarianism cloaked in algorithms and moderation policies, further accentuating the male-dominant society we seriously need to challenge. And then, the system broke even further. Enter artificial intelligence, a poorly programmed tool now tasked with interpreting pixels, assessing intent, and deciding what deserves to exist. AI isn't capable of nuance. Sometimes it isn't capable of recognizing a human face, as you will see in a minute, let alone understanding artistic expression. And when it fails, it's the creators who pay the price. This is where it gets personal. My latest video, Women of AI, was removed. A stylized sequence of AI-generated animations of the women I had already prompted and published on the channel in artistic and social contexts. There were no previously unpublished animations, some provocative, some eerie, all artistically sequenced on a beautiful song with sound effects. The video adhered to YouTube's own guidelines, yet their AI flagged it, and not just any part of it. One frame in particular on second 59. One frame of a face. Just a face. No body, no nudity. No context that could possibly align with their claim. Content flagged for nudity and sexual gratification. A face. And as you can guess, I appealed. The video went under review, and the banning was bizarrely confirmed. So before I show you my removed video, please take a moment to see these examples of YouTube channels that have strived and are striving on a much more edgy, sexualized content that, in my opinion, doesn't even attempt the artistic route. These are getting hundreds of thousands of views for months. They remain, and my 200 views video gets banned. I don't want to sound like I am against these types of channels. To me, it's their right, and the audience should decide to watch or to avoid as they see fit. I'm just contemplating YouTube's perspective as regulators. For those 218 people who have seen my video in the first hour before it was removed, and especially for those who have clicked the like button, I apologize, and I ask you all to please comment here about your impression, your perspective. Did you feel that I crossed a line? And now, here are the banned 3+ minutes entitled The Women of AI. And please don't get sexually gratified on the 59th second as you see that face. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble. I have to note here that my reasoning for reposting a previously banned video is based on 3 arguments. There is no nudity in the video. I am convinced that the video does not breach any official YouTube guidelines, not even close. And finally, YouTube's guidelines and verdicts rely on context. And I believe that I have given these upcoming 3 minutes enough context to make it much more difficult for the algorithm to put forward the same claim as before. Here is the video. Please let me know what you think.
Eerie Aquarium has warned you. Subliminal haunting is our game.
timeless. Never let it fade. Make it timeless. Never let it fade. Timeless. Make it timeless. Never let it fade. 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 Make it timeless. Make it
Provided the banning of my video for the frame of a face. Provided that all of the animations on the video had already been published in previous videos of mine in the weeks before without any issues. And provided the existence of hundreds of channels like those I showed you earlier, and that YouTube is actively promoting. I had to look deeper. What could I have done to trigger some sort of a special attention? A special treatment? I looked back at my channel stats and latest uploads, and it quickly hit me. My second last video was about the California fires. It was a special video because I tackled a news event for the first time. It was in that video that I listed some conspiracy theories, and I mentioned what could have been seen as a position on matters in the Middle East. I even mentioned 2 trigger words they don't like to see. Now I know that fairness and honesty about that humanitarian crisis is frowned upon on YouTube, and I know that the elite do not appreciate the promotion of conspiracies that tend to have a root in reality. I didn't think they could be this petty. That video is still online with the link in the description. YouTube have simply stopped promoting it, as clearly apparent on my stats. I believe that they couldn't find anything even close to a guideline infringement, so they kept an eye on my channel to suppress it through the next release if possible, which happened to be The Women of AI. It is maybe far-fetched, but that's where all the hints lead to. To support me, please make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. But it isn't just about my videos, it's about all of us, about the stories that will never be published, the art that will never be shared, and the voices that will be silenced. As AI takes on more control, as the algorithms become more aggressive, the space for artistic freedom and expression shrinks. And for what? To protect us? To shield us from discomfort? Or is it something deeper? An elite so afraid of its own reflection that it shatters every mirror it sees. Subscribe and let's see how they deal with this one.